Welcome to Recreate the Plate. Today we're going to try and make homemade cinnamon rolls. What's this channel all about? Well, recreating the plate. So if you're like me, and I'm guessing you are because you're watching, I love to watch cooking shows, but I never make anything. So I decided, why not try and see if the recipes I see created on TV, online, on YouTube, are as easy as they make it seem. Can a regular mom, a regular cook like me, make something pretty quick, pretty simply, like they make it look? So that's what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna make homemade cinnamon rolls, and then we're gonna decide, is it worth the effort? Is it worth having the ingredients, letting your dough rise, and all of those things? Or are these just as simple? So watch till the end and we'll see together. Let's get started. So it's 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour, white lily flour, is what they use. And then I already have that in a bowl, and I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of sugar right on the side. And then I'm gonna heat 1 cup of milk. I'm gonna heat this for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to put a little packet of yeast into the milk. And the yeast, it says 2.5 teaspoons. I measured this out, and it's 2.5 teaspoons. So we'll mix that right in and give that into 1 cup of milk. Gonna give that a stir. I've never used active yeast before, so this will be something new for me. Actually, it's all new for me. I've never made homemade cinnamon rolls. Okay, I'm going to pour this right on top of the sugar. That's what she did. And this recipe is actually from Franny Jo Sadie Sweet, and that's where I found this recipe. Okay, so then we're also going to put in 2 large eggs. Just gonna mix them up right in here. And we're gonna beat these. We're gonna put these right in. Hope my bowl is big enough. Okay. And then we're gonna add, this is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Put that right in. And then we also need 1/3 cup of salted butter, and it's softened pretty well. Put that right in. Okay. Right, so we have all that together. Then we're just gonna combine. Probably could use a larger bowl. I have a new microphone. Forgot to turn it on, so I have that on now. So we're back to mixing. It's a pretty sticky dough. Once you get it all combined pretty good, so it doesn't stick. Then we're going to dump the dough out to the counter and just kind of fold it around a bit. Knead it a little bit. Just putting a little bit of flour on my hands. She didn't use a whole lot of extra flour, so I'm trying not to. Okay. All right. Let's get a rolling pin. Call these my little baby rolling pins. I really need to invest in a rolling pin. Okay, but let's give it a try.
Hope it doesn't stick to the counter. Okay. Well, that seems successful. Okay. And then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And we're just going to sprinkle it around. We're not really going to measure that. And 4 tablespoons of melted butter. So we're just going to brush on generously, brush on the butter. Okay. That looks good. Okay. Then we're going to sprinkle. Let's do the cinnamon next. Let's do the cinnamon. So it says 2 teaspoons, but we're just going to do generously. Smells amazing. The butter and the cinnamon. Okay. And then we're going to sprinkle the brown sugar all around. And she did say this is where you could add in other things like, I would say like pecans or chocolate chips or raisins if you like something else in your cinnamon roll, but I'm just going to do plain old cinnamon rolls. Well, this looks amazing. Smells amazing. Okay. Yes. Now, she then poured the rest of her butter on. I might have gotten a little bit more than 4 tablespoons in there, so I'm just gonna, I might not use it all, but I'm gonna drizzle some of this around. Well, maybe I will use it all. That's a lot. Ugh, a lot of butter. A lot of butter. Now we're gonna see. Oh, I hope it didn't stick. Okay. Now we're gonna try and just stretch it out a bit, maybe. That's not working. So I'm just gonna try and roll it up. Oh, it's sticking a bit. Might should have put a little more. Sticking a lot to my counter. Might should put a little more flour on that. Oh, okay, got a little hole, so I'm gonna squeeze that back together. Okay, I mean, that's not too bad. All right, and then I'm gonna put a little flour back on here. Let's see if I can move this. Okay, so she said she kind of tucks the little ends and squeezes the seam. I'm gonna do that. All right. Tuck this little end and then just kind of form it to where it all seems kind of consistently the same size. Ooh, got a little oozing over here. Okay, that looks pretty. Oh, I forgot to do something. I was supposed to let the dough rise before I put the filling on, before I rolled it out and put the filling on. Not good. Well, can't undo it. So what we'll do is we'll cut them up, put them in the pan, and let them rise in the pan. And then I might have to do a second batch. Well, darn. Okay. Okay. Disappointed. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to cut these. So I'm using a serrated knife. And we're going to, okay, then we're going to cut in each section in half. And then half again. And that looks like pretty thick. That might be too thin. What to do? What to do? What would y'all do? Oh, that looks pretty though. Can't believe I forgot to let the dough rise. It's very heavy. I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to cut them again. That just looks too much. These might be too tiny. How do theirs always come out the perfect size? Okay. Well, this is a lot of cinnamon rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 16. Okay. Going to spray a pan. Really good. And then kind of stick in. I mean, they look pretty. That looks pretty. We'll just stick that there. You're getting kind of, maybe a little reshape them a bit as I put them in. They smell good. Oh, that's so pretty. And it's extremely heavy. It's probably because I didn't let the dough rise. I'm thinking if I'd have let the dough rise, it would have doubled in size. It would have made a bigger loaf. I would have made even more cinnamon rolls. And they would have been lighter. So this probably needs to be thrown in the trash. And now if they rise in here, it's going to overfill this. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to let these sit somewhere warm. I'm going to cover them and clean the mess up and see if they rise. Okay, we're going to put some plastic wrap. Here we go. Okay, so I left the cinnamon rolls to stand for, they probably an hour and a half in my garage. It's May here, so it's very warm in the garage. They did rise quite a bit. You can tell how much they rose. So we're going to bake them and hope for the best. Now, we're also going to compare them to just some out of the can cinnamon rolls and see if it's worth all the effort. So I'm going to spray a pan. Okay, so here's the comparison. Oops, I said. Okay, I'm going to pop them in the oven. So while the cinnamon rolls are in the oven, we're going to get the icing mixed up. So I have 3 cups of powdered sugar and I have 3 ounces of cream cheese. I'll add it in. And we have 4 tablespoons of softened butter. and an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Let's dump right in. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. We'll get this mixed up. So I've had this mixer since I first got married. My mom gave it to me. So I've had this for over 35 years. It's an oldie, still works. General Electric. Isn't that awesome? I don't use it very often. I use my big mixer, but okay, let's taste this. What can go wrong with powdered sugar and cream cheese? It's very good. It's very rich. It's kind of thick. It's really thick. I almost feel like it's too thick. It's like a really thick icing. But we put it on the warm cinnamon rolls. I hope it'll turn out. But that's Franny Joe's recipe. Cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. And this is the ones right out of the can. They look amazing. I probably baked them 18 to 20 minutes. And these are the ones, homemade ones. They're still very heavy, a little crunchy, harder on top than I expected. I did leave them in there a little longer. I left them in there maybe 25 minutes. So let's pull one out. See, again, these are the ones that I forgot to let the dough rise. So I might have to give them another chance. Let's see if we can get one out. Oh yeah. They're very, very dense. Very dense. Didn't hold its shape there. And then, oh, I was going to ice it right in the pan. Let's do that. We'll put 2 on here. So let's ice it. Let's ice these right in the pan. All right, this one, I'll turn him around. We'll pull another one out and then let's ice these, the icing that came with it. My family has always loved these. Maybe it'll stay together. Kind of doubt it. All right. Let's pull that back. See that? And then we'll pull one of these out, which look amazing. So there's the 2 different ones, homemade, out of the can. Let's give it a try. It actually isn't bad. It's very flaky, very dense. I mean, I can tell I did something wrong. And then, Out of the can wins, but to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to make these again. To give it a fair trial. Taste one more time. These. Cinnamon, very cinnamon-y. I like the can ones better. All right, thanks for watching.